Ugh, my head. Oh, come on, not again. Well, hello, Internet. I took a wrong turn on the way to the game store, and now I'm stranded on this deserted island. But fortunately, I came prepared. Here's a pretty fun hypothetical us game users like to discuss. If you could only play a few games forever, what would they be? Or to add context to the question, if you only had a few games while on a desert island, what would they be? Logically, it doesn't make that much sense, but it's nice to think about, coming up with a collection of games that aren't necessarily your favorite, but that you could enjoy for the longest amount of time. For this list, I'm going to split it up into 4 categories: single-player games excluding game collections, multiplayer games, and then one list including the first 3 categories. With that being said, the tide is coming in pretty close, so let's get started. Now, when I think of games I can play forever, Animal Crossing immediately comes to mind. While I do enjoy New Horizons, it would remind me more of my predicament, so I'd probably go for the original on the GameCube. It might not be the most in-depth, but there's still a ton to do with the characters in the town, and as a bonus you can get your hands on classic NES games. Hey, it's technically not a game collection, so why not? Let's exploit this loophole a little more with Sonic Adventure DX, also on the GameCube. The game alone has 6 campaigns, all of which control differently, a big hub world to explore, and plenty of hidden medallions to find. And once again, we have Game Gear games that can be unlocked with those medallions. Every Sonic game on the system, as a matter of fact. I've got a good amount of games here that most people might not even consider. Case in point, Braid Anniversary Edition is actually a surprisingly content-filled game. Not only are there tons of hard-to-find collectibles and a lot of story to ponder over, but it also features in-depth commentary and behind-the-scenes content from the developers. What can I say? I'm a big bonus features guy. Of course, a pretty obvious choice for me is Minecraft. No matter what version you're playing, you can pretty much explore and build whatever you want. Honestly, you could get pretty far with just this one game. A Smash Bros. Game is definitely a necessity. These things are game platforms in and of themselves, so any game in the series is a no-brainer for a desert island list. I might be a little biased, but I'm gonna go with Smash for Wii U. It's not quite as big as Ultimate, but it still has a great amount of characters, stages, modes, and bonus content, including the soundtrack and demos for classic games. I've already cheated a little with games that feature bonus games, so why not go all the way in? It might seem a little weird to include a collection of Atari games, but Atari 50, ironically enough, features over 100 different games from the company's history, as well as new ones and tons of history and interviews. Kirby's Dream Collection might be one of the best that Nintendo's ever put out. Not only does it feature the first 6 main Kirby games, but it also features a visual timeline of the series' history as well as real-world events, challenge stages based off of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and 3 episodes of the original TV show. In comparison, Super Mario 3D All-Stars might not have the best reputation, but you still get 3 full-blown 3D Mario games to play, as well as the soundtracks to listen to. Similarly, although Sonic Origins didn't release in the best state, the Plus version has all the same Game Gear titles as Adventure DX, but swapping out Adventure with the 4 classic 2D Sonic games and throwing in tons of animation. Finally, we have The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, a promotional disc for the GameCube. It features both the NES and N64 Zelda games, which is already a ton of content, but there's also a demo for Wind Waker and even some video content. I've gotta say, I'm impressed by how much the GameCube has to offer in terms of sheer quantity. Now, in case anyone else washes up on the island, here's a list of multiplayer games. Of course, we'll have a Smash Bros. Game, and Ultimate is probably the best in the series in terms of multiplayer offerings. Mario Kart and Mario Party are also givens, and I'd say 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Party Jamboree have a great amount of content to offer for anyone who's playing it. Wii Sports is exceptional when it comes to Nintendo games to play with other people, and Wii Sports Resort is similar, but with even more content to almost make you forget you're stranded on an island. Almost. And last but not least is Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. These are timeless experiences, games that you can truly play with other people forever, and the fact that there are 51 of them makes it even better. And to wrap things up with an overall list of the games I would want to play until the end of time: Minecraft, Kirby's Dream Collection, The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, and Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. This was a pretty interesting little creative exercise. There are probably games I'd consider to be overall better than what I chose for this list, but in terms of sheer longevity, I'm pretty happy with what I have. Now to get off this island... Oh, there we go. Yeah, all I had to do was retrace my steps.